Sorry. We listen, we don't judge, is what it's
Let me
saying.
give the folks watching some context. This is Patrick Ridge. You are, what's the title that you have there?
Well, this is Graceland Ranch. Actually, earlier
Are you
today.
the owner? Is the owner, or what's your title?
Yeah. It's my place, but we kind of, I don't know. I like having a more democratic, community-based, but yeah, I'm the owner. I like, because Madison, people that graduate the house, like a lot of them will work for the house and they'll come to the house. And if they think one thing, like it will probably trump whatever I'm thinking. I kind of let the community do its magic. It's really magical.
Now, I don't know too much. This is not an interview. It's just a chat. We're just having a conversation.
Yeah. Cool.
We're just having a conversation. I've heard that it's a sober house, not a recovery center. How would you describe it?
Well, you can't have a license in a sober living, which is cool because, we don't have a license. We're not, it basically might as well be my house. And if you want to live there, you have to be sober and follow the rules. And it's a really nice big house. That's kind of all it is. But if it was a rehab or a treatment center, you would need a license, and then you would be beholden to all these things. And also you can get insurance we can't take insurance at Graceland because we don't have a license. But so there's just a lot of bullshit that doesn't even make sense as far as like insurance fraud. Okay, well, that's off the table because we can't take insurance. What's another thing? It's just this app is very, I'm sure it's very judgmental, and it thrives on chaos and drama and negativity sometimes. And there's never really been anyone who's doing what I'm doing. I mean, no one's ever done it. And it's
How long have you had Graceland for?
About 4 years. Can I get my water, Blue? Oh, just that black water right there. Yeah, so this is Madison. She graduated. So she was one of the first people to come through my house. Yeah, we have Evan back there and Blue's back there. So this is like the graduate house where people can live after they graduate. Thank you so much.
Wait, so you have more than one? It's like a compound?
No. This is just a different house. Yeah, we have two Graceland. Yeah.
So it's different houses near each other, I would imagine.
Yeah. So close so that like, because things are happening all the time. There's always some like catastrophic thing happening at the house. It's 15 to 20 really, really, serious drug addicts, right? And I don't know if you've ever known any of those, but we're pretty much capable of anything at any time. So it's a hard job. I want us to be really close. So like right now we have 5 graduates living in this house, so that if there's ever anything that happens over there, we can just boom, shoot over there. And it's not like a normal business. It's like a family. And I kind of get off on like doing it the right way, right? Nobody's doing this the right way, bro. It's too hard, because if you say you can't have your phone, I don't want to kind of say too much, but I'm just excited to be here. Thank you for talking to me, brother. I really appreciate it. Have you ever heard of a band called Hyper Crush?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you do, bro. Okay.
Were you in that band?
Yeah, but I was in there with like LMFAO and Lady Gaga and like like in the very beginning, 15 years ago when it all started, the pop electronic scene. You were a person that I knew about, that I knew of when I was in the band. And it's just cool to be actually talking to you. And I just appreciate you being willing to hear me out, and not just listen.
Yeah, no, I want to learn more, because I went live with this other. I did not know much.
I know.
I went live yesterday or the day before yesterday with this guy who recently was there.
Yeah, and Nick.
Yes, and people were telling me all of these things in the comments that I had no idea about, and then he got really upset that I was asking him some of these things. I'm like, I'm not here.
Yeah.
It wasn't a setup. This is not a setup. Like
Right. Yeah,
I'm learning this.
You're asking the questions that they're asking, which is so awesome. Like if we could dispel some of the rumors and some of the bullshit and actually clear up a path to help people, because then that would be great. Because I'm bringing these people in. I mean, Nick didn't give us a dime. We had him in our house for 4 months, and every day was a new. I don't know. You can probably speak to how it was with Nick. I mean, he's great. We love him. I'm still friends with him. I hope he makes it. And if he doesn't, we're right here. I don't want to have him like on some, on the outs with us, because we're his foundation. Like, and that's why it's hard leaving sometimes. It's kind of a double-edged sword. The structure that we have, most people don't make it through my house. It's very, very.
What do you mean? Like bedtime at a certain time?
No. Let me explain.
A lot.
So sober living's typically it's just a place of living. You kind of run your own program, go to meetings, they drug test you.
Curfew, drug test, and I mean that's like really it.
How often do you drug test there?
No. I'm like we're describing what other places are like. Like there's not a whole lot you have to do.
Yeah. So Graceland's really different. It's a year-long program. You come in and for the first 60 to 90 days, you don't have a phone. You're focused on working the 12 steps, building a foundation, Alcoholics Anonymous, and learning the house structure, right? Because there's a lot of rules. If you leave a cup out and you walk away from it,
item left out,
it's a strike.
Look, but look.
Look, hold on. Can we explain the cup though?
It's Perez, right?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Drug addicts and alcoholics, when we first get sober, I say we because I am one. Our awareness is it's basically totally, we're completely unaware of where we are, who's around us, how we're affecting people. So the goal with this item left out thing is just to raise your awareness, right? If you're leaving items in every fucking room, we got a problem, right? And that's probably why your life, or that's probably a part of the reason why your life is a mess. Because if you lose shit all the time, it's just one little thing. And also like, I mean, there's so much, bro. There's so much to unpack.
Well, I think I saw a video of Nick saying, that there were too many rules in the house.
Yeah, there's a lot of rules. But I mean,
what are some of the other rules?
So you don't lie, right? You can get an infraction for lying, not doing your chore,
just
being late to our meetings throughout the house.
Obviously, no relapsing. Obviously, no. I mean, if you relapse, there will be consequences, or you'll get kicked out. And no fraternizing. I'm not going to use any words that could get me in trouble here. So, two people shouldn't be having a relationship in the house. And that's one of the most challenging things for us because, Nick had gotten into a relation, or he had a moment. Him and Brittany did a thing and it was a problem.
I heard something about this, that it was pretty scandalous.
Well, it wasn't scandalous. They just did something in a bathroom.
It takes two to tango. They both decided to make a decision.
So after
you went live with Evil Teapot.
Yes, I was about to say, after I went live with Nick, I went live with this other account who was giving me all this information. I don't know if it's true or not, but that other account said that the girl was kicked out, but Nick wasn't.
Yeah. We had two girls who were hooking up with two separate guys in our house. And it's a major rule. It's just as bad as a relapse. It's the same type of infraction.
But the question is why the girls and not the guys?
Okay, I know. So I'm going to finish. Let me get there.
Okay, sorry.
So the reason, I had one girl who already had her bags packed. Every day was trying to leave. I had another girl where this was a behavior pattern where she kept like hitting on guys and trying to get with guys. And this just happened to be the third guy that she got with. And for me, it was like, okay, I felt like if I kicked the boys out, the girls were going to leave regardless. They were going to follow them, possibly. But I also thought, okay, if I keep the guys, we'll keep it a men's house temporarily till we find some strong women. And maybe these two guys will stay and complete the program and get a year sober and change. And it was a tough decision, and I'm open to it maybe not being the right decision. It was it was about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. I said, where can I Uber you guys? And I Ubered one girl. She wanted to go to a house back where she was from.
No. But before you said that, we had a list of 4 different places for each person to go to. Like that would be another house, like another option. Because we have to, at this point, like just imagine being us. Like we have to figure out what to do, right? This keeps happening.
But ultimately, who are the decision makers when something like that happens?
So I ran it by Pat, and then he has a partner who's an owner, Danielle, and then I run it through all the staff. We have about 4 other graduates who are staff, and we all talk about it and come up with a decision.
And I was like, not to be honest, like I don't ever want to kick anyone out, but I'm like king enabler, honestly, believe it or not. I actually got in trouble with her and everyone really, because I was like, I had a relationship with Nick that was more so, it was like I was like enabling Nick in a way. Like I was like trying to convince them to give him his phone back sooner. And when he would get like a bunch of words in my mind, I'm like, okay, he's just going to leave. I don't want him to leave. I didn't want Nick to leave. You know what I mean? Because I did have a relationship with him that was bigger than that started before he came to the house online. And I feel like me and him, I see a lot of myself in him. And I think he sees a lot of himself. And we're like very similar in the sense that we put everything out here. Like I don't have this all started before Graceland, after Hypercrush, with just me and my wife, really just showing parts of my relationship that I thought would help people for real, but also made me kind of look like an asshole at times because people don't show themselves online, you know, in a negative way. Like people are always trying to protect how they look. But my thinking was like, listen, this argument happened and we worked through it. So I'm going to show all of the parts of that. And people initially, I mean, you could imagine what would happen if you posted an argument with your significant other and you both have a big following. People are going to...
Oh, that's going on today with other people.
Yeah, so people are going to choose one or the other and they're going to demonize the other, but we need to be better at forgiving each other. And I mean, me and my wife are good. So why aren't you guys?
So one of the first things, or one of the main things that I think about when I hear or when I learned about Graceland is, oh, a lot of the people there are live streaming while there. How long has that aspect of it been going on for?
No, we haven't had anyone live stream.
No.
Like Graceland as our own account has live streamed.
Yeah, we live stream. I wanted to live stream everything. I wanted it to be a thing where you learn what
the people that are living there don't, but the house does.
Yeah, like we'll have a phone set up and we're like, hey, the Graceland Ranch live streams up if you want to come up and talk. But we didn't. I mean, Nick, I feel like that was another big reason why he wanted to leave, so that he can start live streaming. all the time.
That is the reason.
Because he was about to get his phone taken away.
And now he's killing it. And I hope he's okay. You know, I hope that he changed enough to accumulate some long-term sobriety, you know, but the key really is change, you know, like we do have to change, right? We really do, or else we're not going to stay sober. And change isn't easy, right? And I can't bring about the change that needs to happen in me because my mind is essentially broken, bro. Honestly. I mean, Danny Trejo talks about this when he shares at meetings, like I cannot do it on my own, especially in the beginning. So that's why we're hoping that the people who come into the house are completely surrendered and they're done trying to run the show, you know? And that lasted for a couple months with Nick. And then he decided he wanted to go back out and do it his way. And, you know, it's hard running a sober living. You have to keep this sort of baseline. Like everyone has to be held to the same standards. So if Keaton can't have his phone, then Nick can't have his phone. Even though Nick has a huge following and he can make all this money, it's like he has to sort of be. But we also were seeing patterns of like addiction with this device. I literally just went to Florida because I don't know if you know about this, but I just recently lost 20 years of sobriety and totally bottomed out on live stream and ended up
Well, I
doing.
saw a video that you said that you were also addicted, or that being on social media contributed to that happening.
Oh yeah. Big
So
time.
you're still on. I said this to Nick when I went live with him, and I didn't say it as a negative thing. It's like drama follows people on TikTok live. If you're popular, even the people that are nice, like people for whatever reasons, it might be jealousy, people are making money, or whatever it is, people will bring up things from a long time ago. People will expose people, all of this. And it's like that attention and negativity could be very triggering. So like, is what you're doing still now conducive to your own sobriety and mental health?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I'm talking about it every week with my therapist and my wife. I need to do this. Everyone in my house came from social media.
But
right?
also you have.
So that's the problem is that I have to do this. But here's the thing is I have Evan now and Blue. So where they can film stuff and they post to my page, and there are times where I don't even look at my phone or go on social media for like days. And I honestly, that's when I have the most peace, because I don't know if you can relate to this. I'm sure you can,
I'm addicted to social media, and it's my job.
Yeah. Which is cool, which is good, as long as it doesn't start negatively affecting you. But the numbers, we can become a slave to the numbers, and comparing ourselves to other people. And you've been doing this for a long time, and so have I. So I think that, we've probably developed healthy coping mechanisms. Don't worry about the results so much. Keep doing it for the right reasons. And that's all good and fine. But the height of what happened when Nick was coming to Graceland, it went from like here to like way up here. Right. And I just lost it. I fed into all the bullshit, because for me, it's not like entertainment.
No,
only,
you're grounded.
But it is, it kind of is entertainment, right? But it's also like for real people, like changing their life.
Well, and then
right
does that worry you? I mean, I didn't know that all of the people there came from social media. Does it worry you that some people
most
does it worry you that some people want to be in your house just to grow their social media following?
100%, but that's never really happened. I mean, Nick is the first person that's ever really been to our house who even has a following. Brittany has a little bit of a following, but those are the only two people. And I wanted to wait a couple years until I'm so confident in the house and the structure, and Madison and Jose and Zach. And I have all these different people who graduated that are running it right now. I knew that the house I'm so proud of what we do. And I know that house, if you go into that house, you're going to get like the best possible shot at long-term recovery that I can give you. And I went to a similar place 20 years ago. I went to a house called Liberty House. And it was all men, and it was very structured. And really what it is you know everyone so well that everyone grows together. Nobody gets away with anything, because they're surrounded by people just like them. And if that community turns healthy, which it is right now in our house, we had to cut a couple people out of it so that the core could be healthy, so that when we get new people, they're coming into a house with 10 or 15 people who are on the level, who aren't lying, who are sort of influencing you in a positive way rather than a negative way. And sometimes the house is kind of like an organism where one bad apple can spread, right? So the way the structure is designed, it's like this perfect, it's like a cooking, what do you call it? Like a boiling, it's like a jambalaya of like perfect. It's like we're organizing chaos, so to speak, like every night at dinner, everyone in the house has to give a positive on someone else in the house and what we call a pull up on someone else. So, and if you don't do that, you get struck, and you have now you have words like you have to do it. It's called attitude checks every day at dinner. So you have to be paying attention, right? And you have to sort of be your brother's keeper. So what worked for us on the streets, not snitching, keeping secrets, all that gets turned around completely on its head. And Jose, who works for me, was kind of a street dude. So's Paul, and changing the way they think about, like, you're not ratting on this person. You're telling on them because you want to help them.
You're pulling them up to be lifted.
Yeah, like for example, like pull up Blue. I see that you've been very disengaged lately and isolating. I think it would be good if you get out of your head and start participating more, right? That would be like a
Actually,
pull-up.
that's a half-ass pull-up.
Okay.
That's a half-ass pull-up.
like
He
crazy.
didn't. He would need to give a specific example, like,
Right.
"Hey, Blue, I've noticed that you've been disengaged in your house commitments. You didn't do your chore and you didn't make your bed today. I suggest taking contrary action." You have to give a specific.
Okay, so this
example.
is so Madison knows the structure better than I do, and I designed it. I mean, I didn't design it. I designed it for Graceland, but I took what Liberty House was doing like exactly. I didn't change anything except for the fact that it's co-ed, which made it a lot more challenging. But I don't know. I think people should get sober around members of the opposite sex because you're going to be coexisting with them in the real world. Why not prepare? I mean, I think that was one thing that was, I think, lacking at Liberty House was you graduate and they're like, here you go, here's women.
So
It's like hard.
This is an opportunity for you to set the record straight. I'm hearing something that there are multiple lawsuits against Graceland. Is that accurate?
Hold on, I will answer this
I mean,
for you.
there should be, because hold on, because that's what alcoholics do when they leave a place. A drug addict or an alcoholic, when they leave a sober living because they don't want to keep growing or changing, they have to make it the sober living's fault. They have to justify their actions by demonizing the sober living. I mean, even I did it. It's really hard not to. And this is one of the things I want to educate people about. I want them to learn more about what addicts and alcoholics are like in early recovery. They leave. I can't believe Nick's not talking shit. I can't believe it.
Well, he was. I did see a video of him talking.
Yeah, but like for a little bit, right?
Right after he left.
Yeah.
I think he was wearing a maroon shirt. I even
Yeah,
remember I saw it today.
But it wasn't really like that bad. And
he was threatening. He's like, I better not start speaking or whatever.
Yeah, which is normal, bro. Like alcoholics are, if you drank or used for 10 years, that's a whole decade off your emotional intelligence. I mean, we're emotionally wherever we were when we started using. So picture like an angry, selfish teenager, like, fuck you, mom. Like that's the energy, right? And I want people to understand that. Like you can't, who are you going to believe? Us?
Yep, I'm still busy.
Us with the house 4 years, or this guy with 3 months sober who's trying to talk shit about a whole organization? So I think that we all kind of need to be a little bit more discerning when it comes to where we're getting our information. And I personally I believe what you say. Like if you say something, I'm going to believe you, not people in my chat telling me things about you. However, I am willing to answer any questions. And I'm
Hold
so
on,
glad.
you kind of tiptoed around what he said, and I'm going
What
to
was
say
it
it.
again?
I'm going to say it in a way.
Lawsuits.
Yes.
Oh,
so
right,
let
right,
me,
right.
because we have to be careful because of the other party.
I mean, I think
but I
that-
could say it in a general way that it has nothing to do with our company and a resident in our house. It has to do with something that happened outside the house. And basically they're suing both of Pat's companies.
Well, we don't even, that's whatever. And there's a dog bite thing too that happened.
Oh yeah.
There was Mac at dog bites. We had a dog who so that happened. And then yeah, one of my I haven't really talked about this, bro, but I'll bless you with it just because you're the real deal. I'll just tell you straight up. Look, when I opened this house, one of my, I opened it with me, Danielle, and this other guy, Gus. And, we had a falling out, and he did sue me for like a lot of money. And it was just, I had to walk through like one of my best friends suing me because they felt like they were owed a percentage and they had zero experience in this industry. And also they were bringing zero to the table as far as a financial investment. So why would you get a percentage of the company? I'm sorry, we're not giving you a percentage, but you can work for us and you can get sweat equity and we can build that up over time. But you know, he wasn't trying. Once he got a lawyer that was down to chase the money, he chased the money and he got some. So yeah, those are, and I'm fucking, bro, I'm like the most transparent person you're ever going to meet on this app. I know you don't know me yet, but if you go through any of my stuff, you're going to see like, I'm literally doing a social experiment right now. I'm putting my entire ass out there so that people can attack me and do whatever they want to do. And what we're doing inside of that house is magical, right? And there's examples of that all around me. I mean, literally all the people that like Evan, Jose, Madison, even Mason just left. And now Mason's talking shit. All these people they did a year in my house and they're still sober and they're all around me. And that's not enough. Shouldn't that be enough? Like they came here through TikTok. She has you should have seen what she looked like when she showed up at Graceland. She had potholes on her face. She was on death's doorstep. Her mom didn't give me a dime. Her mom was like, nope, I'm not fucking helping her at all. I'm done. So look at her now. It's 4 years later. I just made her a signer on the account. Like they're real world miracles happening right in front of these people's eyes. I opened the house on TikTok. They followed me. They watched me open the house. They watched the first residents come in. There are people here that have been watching my journey from day one before Graceland. And even still, they want to talk shit. It blows my mind. I brought this kid in, River. I just bring people in sometimes from social media just to bring them in, just to see if we can help a random person. And they want to fucking shut my house down.
Is there any kind of requirement? Like, not everybody pays, but some people pay. But is there a requirement to go live on the Graceland account if you're a member of the house?
Not at all, bro. That's the other thing, bro. It's like, imagine me having a sober living, right? And I'm forcing people to go live and to be in videos. They would leave in 1 second. They're already looking for a reason to leave every minute they're there because they're going against everything in their body, which is to say, go run, go get, go back. Like it's very, very difficult to get through a structured sober life. It just is. But what you get on the other end of it is some claws, some fangs, maybe to deal with life, because life is a motherfucker. And once you have some claws and fangs, or at least just a little more strength and inner, discipline, now you're going to have more joy in your life. And that we only get 1 year, and we're just trying to make them the best they can be in that year. Right. And what is that going to look like? Right. We're going to be running sprints, going up hills. Our muscles are going to be sore. I'm saying like our mind, like writing, like we're not working so much on our physical, but our mental, our emotional, and the writing helps slows down your brain, and the alcoholic's brain moves way too fast. So the writing is super therapeutic. I recently did a day of structure. So I wrote 8K. I broke reflections with Nick. So I got to see what it was like. I did it a long time ago, but it's like, you're just forced to be. Okay, so here's a great example. You know how like baseball, when you're on deck, you have a donut on your bat? She's laughing because I say this all the time.
No, I'm laughing because you are just a steamroller.
I'm just
today.
so excited.
So
listen, I'm so excited and I love what I do so much. Like, I'm so proud of it. And the fact that we have hate, it's like, fuck yeah. Like, it's like punk rock, like
Thank you, OG Jessica. You like that you guys have hate?
I kind of do, bro, because when we beat it, when we win, it's like we have a common enemy that unites us.
Who is the enemy?
Like who is Batman without the Joker, bro? He's not the same. Like the enemy is these fucking people online. Like this evil teapot.
Why would they
This
have it
evil
out for you?
teapot. I don't know.
It's that's the thing is they judge based on our social media, and they don't know us, and they don't really know the full scope of everything that's going on.
Because
right?
they probably had an experience with someone like me who wasn't good.
Or
you
we
know, and
have
they're
residents,
projecting.
or we have residents who leave.
Yeah,
and
they
just
talk shit.
and they talk shit because they're resentful at the house, whether they feel they were treated unfairly or some type. They just have their conceptions. You mentioned, is there a requirement? We always have 4 scholarship beds, and it's not required for everyone to be on video. Like, you could sign. We have a paper for a video release, and you can write on the contract, I do not want to be in videos, and even verbally to us.
But I mean, this all kind of seems obvious. Like, if you really sit and think about it for a second, like, I wouldn't be in business for 4 years. I mean, look, if you tried to open a structured sober living right now, good luck.
And but what about
nobody's going to come. Nobody wants to come and have their phone taken away when right down the street they give it to you.
Oh my gosh, there's even 420 friendly sober living.
Because of the fact that I have my following and that we do get people from the internet, that's the only reason we're able to even do this. And it's kind of an extinct. This method is like going extinct. And I don't want it to die.
I'm a little confused because some of what you do also, in addition to being this sober living house, is it detoxing? But that I thought that's what happens.
Right.
Fair. Can I answer that? Okay.
Well, but
I thought sober living didn't do detoxing.
Yeah. Well, but before you answer that, I had a lot of people detox on my couch before I opened my sober living. That's what I do as an alcoholic. I help other people. And if they need to sleep on the couch, my sponsor lived with me for 6 months because he got kicked out of his house. Like, that's all this is, bro. All it is my house. And if I want to help someone and they don't have money to get a detox, I'm going to. And I don't give a fuck if it's allowed or not.
Well, okay.
It is allowed.
Okay,
I know it's allowed.
Let me explain.
Because we just can't give them meds. That's what it is. We can't disperse meds, but if they want to detox,
is that
on our
dangerous
couch,
though? Like if somebody's addicted
okay.
to
Can I explain?
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
There's 2 substances that you need to be concerned about. One is drinking. I know. One is drinking, and then the other is
the H word or the F word.
No, it's not that. Because I'm one of those. That's what I got sober off of. The 2 fatal ones is alcohol and it's a benzos. I could say that, right? Like so. I
wouldn't, and that's not even important.
Okay, but it is important. No, time out. It is important because listen, we don't take people who are kicking from that, right? And so, but also, what happens is we're talking to these people on the phone, and we'll say, hey, like, well, how are you? Like there's this one, I could clear the air of the girl who was in our garage in a bucket throwing up.
Wait. She's here, Ray. Where's Ray? She can literally talk to you herself.
Well, anyways,
I mean, it really, what it comes down to is just like, look.
No, can I explain it?
Yeah.
Stop interrupting me. So they will, for her, for example, she went to detox. She had out of state, only state insurance. She went to one. But then when she got out, she started using again. But then she still came into our care and said, I'm not going to be that bad. We took her, she has no resources for California programs.
Yeah, dude.
And then we took her to the hospital,
so
but she was still feeling sick. I'm in school and I'm a H addict. I know that it's not fatal. It's really uncomfortable. Your body is disturbed, of course, but we can't dispense meds. We're not licensed. So we're not detoxing because we're not allowed to. Yeah, but we could take people to the doctor, to the hospital. They can prescribe the medication and we'll allow them to take them. But you get a lot of people who call. I do a lot of admissions and they'll say, I've been sober. I'm fine. Like I've been clean. Yeah, they come in and then they have no resources. We can't send them out. And what are we supposed to do? Put them on the street?
I can't get in.
Well, bro, that's how it is with you.
Can't get
or
in.
Perez can't ask questions.
I know. I'm sorry, bro. Me and her are both commanders. We took the test. I'm sorry for steamrolling, and I appreciate
all good.
It's just the simple answer is we can't give out meds. Like a proper detox would mean you're giving them
another I don't know why people would. I've heard people refer to Graceland as a cult. Is there any kind of religious aspect?
No, but that I love